Hey guys, I thought I'd try something a little different and try a video blog this week. So if you like it, maybe this will be something that comes back in the future. The other day, I woke up. It was like 2 a.m. in the morning. And now when I say I woke up, it wasn't really me that woke up. Let me rephrase that. My son Isaiah woke me up at 2 a.m. one morning. And this particular morning, I was really tired because I knew I had to get up early to set up for church the next day. And I had been up really late the night before. So, when he woke me up at 2 a.m., I probably wasn't in the best of mood. And when he woke me up, it wasn't because he was sick, or he was upset, or he was really irritated at something, or had a bad dream, or anything like that. He woke up just because he woke up. And so he comes into our bedroom, and he wakes me up, and he says, "Dad, can I get up and play?" I look at the clock. It's 2 a.m. I had been asleep about an hour at this time. I said, "Buddy, you really need to go back to bed." He said, "Dad, I don't want to go back to bed." I said, "Isaiah, go back to bed." This invoked crying on my son to the point that he's bawling. I tell him, "Look, Isaiah, it's late, you're tired, go back to bed." I get him back into bed. He starts saying, "But Dad, my nose is running." "Okay, fine, Isaiah, get up and go blow your nose." So he gets up and goes and blows his nose. "Dad, can I stay up now?" "No, Isaiah, you can't stay up now. Go back to bed." "I don't want to go to bed." And he starts bawling these tears again. He gets back in his bed, and guess what? "Dad, my nose is running." "Okay, fine. Get up, go blow your nose, then get back in bed." So he gets up, he goes and blows his nose. And after he blows his nose, he says, "Dad, can I stay up now?" "No, Isaiah, you can't stay up." "But I want to stay up." He starts crying. He goes back to bed crying. Guess what? His nose needs blowed again. His nose is running from all the tears. So this goes on back and forth for approximately 2 hours. And I'm trying to decide, do I spank him at this point? Do I just continue to tell him to go to bed? What do I do? And I'm tired and I'm frustrated and I am getting furious. I'm getting really mad. This anger is building up in me. And so finally at about 4 o'clock, I'm thinking I've got to get up at 5 to go set up for church. At 4 o'clock, I just look at him and go, "You know what, Isaiah? I don't care what you do. I don't care if you stay up. I don't care if you play. I don't care anything that you do at this point. I'm going back to bed. And if you wake me up, you are going to get a spanking and you are going to be punished bad. Do you understand?" And at that, I went and I slammed the bedroom door. And of course, I didn't sleep because I was so worked up at this point. I was so angry. I was so tied up in all my emotions that I couldn't sleep. So I laid there for about an hour. And then I got up, took a shower, got ready, still angry, still mad because I hadn't had any sleep. I had had maybe an hour's sleep, and now I'm going to be running on that for the rest of the day. And as I got ready to leave, I looked in the living room. I walked through the living room as I was ready to leave, and Isaiah was there playing Xbox. And so I leaned down and I told him, I said, "Isaiah, I love you, and I'm going to church. I'll see you when you get to church." And he said, "Okay, Dad." I said, "And you know what's going to happen if you're whiny at all today because you get enough sleep?" He said, "I have to go to bed." I said, "Oh, no, 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 no. You don't get to go to bed. See, you stayed up all night and kept me up all night. I'm not letting you go to bed. You're going to stay up the rest of the day. You just get a spanking, but you have to stay up the rest of the day, just like I have to stay up." It's funny, isn't it? I mean, we get so tied up in our emotions. Our emotions rule so much of our lives. Our emotions take control of us, and they overpower our common thinking. I mean, I just told a 5-year-old that I was going to make him stay up all day long, and that if he was whiny at all, he was getting a spanking because he woke up and couldn't sleep. I mean, that's not rational, is it? As I went and I set up for church and I got to talking to people and I calmed down a little bit, I got to think about the way I acted around my son, and I thought, that's not really a biblical father, is it? I mean, don't get me wrong, our children need discipline. We need to be a correcting hand. We need to raise them up in the way of the Lord. I'm not saying that. But my actions and my anger, was that what he needed? And as I thought about this and prayed about this, I thought of Ephesians 6, where it says, "Fathers, do not provoke your children to anger, but raise them up and admonish them in the way of the Lord." And in the message even puts it this way: fathers, do not come down too harshly on your children. Don't come down too hard on them so as to crush their spirit. I was acting my anger. I wasn't acting as a good parent. I mean, I was at first. I was thinking he needs sleep, and he needs to get sleep, and I need to get to sleep. But I wasn't acting in a godly way by 4 a.m. And I acted in my anger. It's funny, James chapter 1, verses 19 and 20 says, it says, "Be slow to speak and slow to anger, because the actions of an angry man does not bring God's righteousness." I don't think my actions brought God's righteousness upon me. So when I saw him later that day at church, here he is, and the last he had seen of me was me telling him, "If you're whiny at all, I'm going to spank your tail." And here's my 5-year-old son. He sees me and he runs to me smiling. And as he gets close to me, I bend down and I hug him. And I look at him, and he's got these bloodshot red eyes, and his eyes are red all the way around them, and there's tears coming out of his eyes. And he's not crying. It's not tears of crying because he's upset or he's scared or anything like that. He was that tired that his eyes were watering as if they were crying. I hugged my son. I said, "Isaiah, I need to ask you forgiveness. Because I didn't act in a godly way. I didn't act as a father should act this morning. Now, you should have went back to bed. You should have listened to me. I'm not saying that. But I shouldn't have yelled at you. And I really shouldn't have threatened you the way I did." I said, "Isaiah, will you forgive your dad?" And Isaiah smiling. It's one of the most wonderful things about children is they don't know how to hold a grudge yet. Isaiah smiling hugged me and said, "I forgive you, Dad. You scared me when you yelled at me, but I forgive you." So what about you? Are your actions bringing God's righteousness? Are you acting and allowing your emotions to control your actions? In my prayer time with God and in corporate prayer, as I end prayers, I've started saying this little saying as I close: "God, may our every action bring you glory." Do your actions bring God glory? Or are you simply acting on your emotions? I love you guys.